So today I want to talk about signs from loved ones who've passed on. I know not everyone believes in signs, and it really depends on your faith and all of that, but I want to share some of my experiences that have helped me to believe in a bigger power, in energy, and that our loved ones really could be looking out for us. So I'm going to be telling you a couple quick stories about signs I believed I received. And these are just two of many that I feel like I've experienced for my mom and my dad over the years. And I want to start off by saying I did grow up religious, Catholic, but I consider myself spiritual more than anything. Now, my mom, one thing to know about her is she was a big believer in signs from loved ones in the afterlife. And if you knew her, you knew she had a big personality who would definitely be a sign giver once she was on the other side, if she could, especially to her kids, to let them know that she was with them and looking out for them. About a week after my mom passed, I was on the phone with one of my sisters, and we were talking about some of her clothes that we needed to transfer out of her house. She asked me if I wanted anything in particular, and I immediately thought of this sweater. It was a sweater my dad had made because he was a sewing machine mechanic and knew how to sew. So he had made it for my maternal grandmother who had passed away when I was a baby. And then it got passed down to my mom who would wear it. And I remember I loved the way she looked in it, and it just reminded me of her. And I thought it was really special because it had a piece of all three of them, my dad, my grandma, and my mom in there. So I had asked her if I could have that. And as soon as I mentioned it on the phone, the lamp in my bedroom started flickering nonstop. And it was a fairly new light bulb in there, and it just started flickering, and that had never happened before. I immediately told my sister. I took a little video clip of it, and we were kind of freaking out, and we're like, oh my gosh, that has to be a sign from Mom. It just was literally right when I mentioned that sweater and we were talking about her, it just started flickering like crazy. And it didn't stop until I put another bulb in there. So that was really crazy and wild, and we definitely took that as a sign from her. Now, my other story happened probably about around a week after that. I was very heavy-hearted still at that time. I'm still in a zone, trying to comprehend the loss of my mom. And I was feeling very down and lost. And I remember thinking, I wish there was some way my mom could tell me she was okay, and I wish there was some kind of sign she could give me. And as I was thinking that, I opened the door to go outside of my apartment to get the mail. And as soon as I opened the door, I immediately saw this bright white feather on my black welcome mat. And it caught my eye right away, and I was taken aback a bit because I didn't expect it, and I had never seen a feather on that welcome mat before. Maybe I've seen feathers on concrete around there, or walking down the street or something, but never on that welcome mat. I'm well aware I was on high alert probably at that time, but this was something I had never seen in that spot before. So I immediately thought, oh my gosh, maybe that's a sign from my mom, because one of the signs my mom believed in the most were white feathers. She would always talk about those. It brought me a little comfort, but as anyone who knows me, I'm an overanalyzer, which is terrible. And I immediately started thinking, well, maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe a bird happened to fly by and that happened, or got blown over there by the wind or something. So I immediately started kind of doubting it and thinking, man, I wish there was confirmation I could get that this was definitely a sign from my mom. And then the next day, I opened the door again to get the mail again. And as soon as I opened the door, I saw another white feather, but this time, I kid you not, it was actually stuck, firmly stuck in the hole in the door, the hinges where the lock goes, and it was firmly stuck there. So when I opened the door, it kind of blew from the breeze of the door. It was at perfect eye level with me. And I was taken aback. I was like, I had to stop there for like a good minute and just look at it and say, am I really seeing this right now? And again, it wasn't loose, it was firm in the door. And I had to actually cry it out a little bit, like with force. And I couldn't believe it. And don't know how it got there. The door was closed completely the whole night, and I hadn't told anybody about these feathers until probably a week after. So it's not like somebody could have been messing with me and stuck one in the door. So it was just bizarre. I was very surprised and shocked, and it was like my mom was saying, "Hey, it's me. Yes, it's me. I'm looking out for you. Don't doubt me. Here's another example." And again, with my mom's personality, I feel like that's something she definitely would do. But immediately it was comforting, because I thought, this has to be my mom's way of confirming. She definitely was a strong presence on earth, so I believe she'd be a strong presence, her energy force, in another realm. So those are just 2 examples. I've had a lot of cool examples that I can get into in other episodes. I've also had experiences where I've actually asked for specific signs and received them, with both my mom and my dad. I've heard some really cool stories from other people about signs over the years, so I'd love to hear more. Let me know if you guys have ever received signs you believed are from loved ones. And thank you again for listening and watching, as always. And I'll see you on the next episode of Coffee and Grief.